Let's see what $10 buys you at Savers these days. Now this laptop, I know nothing about this at this point in time other than it's a ThinkPad T60. This is like a 2006 model. It's got the rubberized coating. Let me bring this. I wish I had better light in here, but I don't. But anyway, it has a lot of scratches and gouges, a lot of wear and tear on the rubberized finish. There's proof, as is. I don't know if it works, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out one way or the other. When this laptop was new, it was basically the cat's meow. This is what the executive got when the time came to replace all the office laptops. This is basically the... oh, this does actually say Lenovo on it. Okay. Yeah, this was a very expensive machine in its day. I would estimate around maybe $2,500 when it was new. But the lighting in here is so bad; it's hard for me to really show you just what kind of condition it's in. Let me move it closer to this lamp here. Let's see if we can get a better view of it. So right off, we can see that this keyboard has seen better days. It is really worn. Letters, complete characters are worn almost completely off. The N, almost half the N is gone. Battery's dead. Obviously, it's been sitting. Eraser head mouse is missing. But the one thing that caught my attention was that it's all there. There's no cracks or missing parts. Well, the hinges are probably broken, but it doesn't sound good. We'll get a better look at that in a minute. We had the previous owner's name and address on a label, which I have censored out. It was purchased refurbished. We have a Windows XP refurb license on here, as well as part of the original OEM license. I can't make out what it was for, but I think that's a Windows XP license code. So yeah, it doesn't appear to be really damaged at all. As you probably saw, it has the optional fingerprint reader. It's got the DVD-C or W combo drive. Let's pop this out. I love how these old IBM Lenovo's ejected the drives. Is there a date on this one? October 2006. So yeah, this was a transitional period laptop for IBM. It still had the IBM decal on it, but it was really a Lenovo product. All in all, these were very nice machines when they were new. Just other than the extreme wear and tear, it is in pretty good shape. But we don't even know if it has a hard drive. Let's take a look. Were they dumb enough to leave the hard drive in it? Remember that video that we made a little while back? Check this out. They used the wrong screw to hold the hard drive door in there. That's just like illegal in my opinion. And it didn't even fit. Morons. Oh boy, there's a drive in there. Let's see what we got. And is it the original? I don't see the IBM FRU number on it. It's a 60 gig hard drive. We'll have to do something about that. Now, honestly, I don't plan on keeping this laptop. It's really not in that great of condition. It's not really... That's the other issue I wanted to touch on. Not every old computer is collectible. If it's a standard daily driver, like this one, obviously this is a daily driver, or was. I don't consider it to be collectible because it's not in great condition. It probably works. It's probably in functional condition. It's got the original battery still. But it's not in stellar condition. So I didn't get a power supply with this, but that's okay because I have like hundreds of them, so I'm not worried about that. So let's plug it in. This is the charger from my my Z61, and which is in limbo right now. Let's see. We plug it in. We get a power indicator. We get a battery charge indicator. When they're stone dead, they will flash up, turn green, which means the battery is junk. Possibly junk. Alright, so for 10 bucks, what do you expect, right? But that rubberized coating is knackered. One of the nice things about these T-Series laptops is they have, I think this is going to be a white LED light, whereas the R's, I think, were orange. This is about the same age as my Z71. Or Z61. Yeah, this is about the same age as the Z61, come to think of it. So, you guys want to see if it works? I know I do. Fire it up. Okay. It looks promising. I bet you it has, like, I'm going to guess 256 megs of RAM or something stupid like that. Probably almost no memory in this thing. Wow, it's actually starting. It's actually starting. Alright, I'm going to pull the camera away just for a second, just in case anything really inappropriate flashes on screen, because you never know. You never know when you're firing up a used laptop for the first time what is going to happen. It could be really, really bad. Alright, so I just made sure that this laptop is fairly safe and nothing's going to pop up at me that has, anything illicit. What I have found out is that this laptop was used by or owned by a high school student who has a terrible overall taste in music. I mean, just check this out, man. This is like all modern day just crap. I mean, I'm sorry if you're young and this is your music, but holy crap. I think I saw some Johnny Cash in there somewhere, which is kind of cool, but I don't see anything in the iTunes library, so whatever. Anyway, but yeah, this thing is pretty much full of spyware, which is why if you have a laptop that came in from unknown sources. In this case, I bought it at a thrift shop, and I'm doing what the average person is going to do. They're going to fire it up and try to use it. Do not connect it to the internet, because you never know where it's been, what it was used for. There could be this thing could be a storage node for illegal torrents. I mean, who knows? And you don't want that on your on your outgoing IP address. Well, you know what I mean. You don't want that connected to... Oh, let's say the FBI is looking for this thing. You plug it in, and oh, look at where it is now. I guess we found it. The homing software we installed did its job. You just don't know. So the first thing you want to do is just rebuild it. In this case, we're going to take that 60 gig drive out. It'll never get reused again. I think I've got some smaller 160s kicking around that could pop in here. SATAs. Just pop one of those in, and but I don't know if I'm going to save this laptop or not. I mean, I'm really not sure what its future holds. We're just messing around here. I bought it on a whim, just because it was there and it was only 10 bucks. Figured, what the hell. It does have the nice LED light, and this concerns me. We've got to take this thing apart and see what its condition looks like inside, if it's even worth salvaging. I mean, putting in a keyboard would be worth it, totally, if it's good and functional. The keyboard works, it's just in terrible shape. In fact, I tried to find a hole. I tried to replace the palm rest too, because it's bent here. And I mean, it's in rough shape. This laptop has lived a very productive life in one way or the other. So yeah, let's tear it down and see what's going on in there. Let's see what kind of condition it's in, if it's even worth putting any effort into. And the other thing is, let's see what the system specs are, because I'm not even sure yet what it is. Let's take a look at that. So what do we got? Yeah. And it's a Core Duo, not a Core 2 Duo, but it's a Core Duo. That makes it a 32-bit machine. 1 gig of RAM. Could be upgraded, probably to 2 or 4 gigs. I think these would probably do 2 easily. But yeah, not terribly impressive. What do we have for an Intel 945 Express display? It's just basically for business use. Sound Max HD. from Analog Devices. Yeah, it's nothing fancy. It's not really a... It just, what it is a heavy-duty business class machine or commercial grade laptop that's been never really upgraded from what I can tell. 1 gig of RAM was pretty much probably your second to lowest spec on the build sheet in 2006. A 60 gig hard drive in 2006 is kind of pitiful. Most of the laptops I have from that time period have nothing smaller than an 80. So this was like your base model T60 is what it was. You know, it's got the Core Duo 1.83. It's a dual core processor. But nothing really fancy there. We've got a nice big bright display. It's pre-LED. This is a CCFL display. And we're going to turn the brightness up on it a little bit. And where's the brightness key on this thing? Oh, I got to reach all the way across the keyboard for that. See how high it goes? Oh, this is as high as it goes. So yeah, it's not too bad. You know, these do lose their brightness over time. That is a fact of life. But this one's not in too bad shape. Just kind of doing an overall eval here, and I'm doing it, you know, live, so you can see what I'm doing. You can hear me speak. It's got the DVD drive CDRW option, which I believe was standard then. It's got the fingerprint reader, not that anyone ever uses those. And the battery is stone dead. See? It should have, if it would have taken a minimum charge, it should have stayed on for a second or two, but it didn't. So we know the battery is shot to hell. You can get a remand battery for this, or a generic one, but it looks like it might even have a broken latch down here. Let's see if I can get some more light on that. Get my flashlight. Let's see. 1 gig of RAM. That'll comfortably run XP, but no, it's not broken. That's just how it's made. But yeah, this is your sleep switch, I think, down in there. So when the display is closed, that switch will cause the machine to suspend. But possibly a broken hinge on this thing. The keyboard is worn out. Buffed would be probably the word I'd use. The display lid is, you know, it's pretty gouged up. And you can see there's a lot of rubberized coating missing. Now this is towards the very end of Intel's usage of this rubberized coating, or IBM Lenovo's. And they may use it on some products today. How's the display cable? You can usually tell if the display cable's in bad shape by just flopping the screen back and forth. And if it doesn't flicker out on you, that's a good thing. I mean, these were well-built laptops for their time. I don't think the new ones are as good as these older ones, to be honest. And I might even have a T60 at work. Actually, I think I might. I think I do. I'm not sure. I've got a pile of old ThinkPads kicking around. For oh, the enter key's broken. I just realized that. Look at how it's sitting at an unnatural angle. The key should be popped off and reinstalled, but it's possible that the previous owner tried doing that himself and made the problem even worse. So, where are we with this thing? Well, it needs help. Let me see what these are going for on eBay. The T60. And let's see what its monetary value is. It has no useful value to me at this point, other than maybe as a parts machine. Let's say I find a T60 with a cracked screen. Maybe combine the two and have a nice little powerhouse. You know, I mean, these were nice laptops. As weak as this one is, it could be made better. Remember, the SSD upgrade is always an option on these. So, I'm really pushing those now. I did 4 MacBook Pros at work. 4 MacBook Pros that were headed to the dumpster if we couldn't make them faster. No, seriously. We're talking 2010 MacBook Pros. And my dad's. I did my dad's MacBook Pro, which is my old MacBook Pro. And I put SSDs in all of them and made them run faster than lightning. You never know. It could be worth it on something like this. Put a small, $30 120 gig drive in there, pop it in, and Boom, there you go. All right, well, let me do some homework. Okay, let's do some finger walking. So here's a T60, 14-inch, 2 gigahertz, 1 gig of RAM. Basically the laptop we have here, going for $38 with free shipping. So basically it's the unit we've got. Hard drive, does it say? No hard drive, so they yanked the drive out of it. 38 bucks. Okay, alright. Here's one for 46. This is a 1.83. This is the one we really have. I think that was a 1.83. 1 gig of RAM, 46 bucks. This is the same seller, by the way. Here's another one, Here's 34.88. These are sold listings, 80 bucks. On January 11th, that was yesterday, someone got 80 bucks for one with a power supply and obviously in better shape and a slightly better model. And this one has I think a 160 gig hard drive. That's not too shabby. Windows 7 pre-installed, Windows 7 Ultimate. See, I don't have a Windows 7 license to put on it. So if I sold it with a Windows license, I can't legally do that. It would have to be XP. But they're not going for crazy money. Here's one with Windows 10 pre-installed, 32-bit. $114. Now, most of that price is the Windows 10 install, whether the license is legal or not. They claim it is. It's a refurbisher's license. I see the logo right here. But is it worth it? That's a damn good question. But they're going for a low of, let's see, 20 bucks, $19.99, 94, 109. The price is all over the map. It looks like they go for more with a legitimate Windows install, which I cannot provide legally. So if I sell a laptop, it will come with the OS that originally came with it. I'm not in the business of selling illegal pirated copies of Windows. That's one thing I don't do, whether it be on a machine or not. Now here's one. $400. Somebody bought it with free shipping for $400. What makes this one so? Wireless notebook war, cheap laptop XP Pro. This looks like a sham to me. Proton Computers sold it, and they got. Now, what makes this one so special? And it's got the 1.8 Core Duo. CDR-W DVD, 2 gig of RAM, 500 gig hard drive. This does not look legit. This looks fake to me. Norton Internet Security, big deal. 2009. I mean, give me a break. 1 year included, $60. Wait, when was this sold? How long ago was that? I didn't look at the date. Wait a minute. Let's go back. That's crazy. January 3rd of this year. That's not right, man. What? No. $1,200? These are sold listings. Somebody got 15-inch UXGA Frankenpad, 500 gig. So this is a combination of parts, it looks like. This is something somebody put together. 500 gig SSD, 2.8. So this is probably the top spec model. 8 megabytes. It's probably 8 gigs of RAM. What the fuck? The reason for the high price is simple. The very high cost of the genuine factory brand new BOE high dis LED LCD and custom flex ribbon cable. That must be custom made to go with it. There is nothing else like this screen. Everything else new where possible and carefully tested when not possible. This is interesting. X9000 Extreme processor, 8 gigs of RAM, OEM battery and charger. For years, most of these screens are purchased for the dash panels of commercial jets. That's weird. I question the sanity of whoever bought it on December 31st of 2016. That's crazy stupid. That's just insane. And I don't know. For every... There's a sucker born every day, I guess. Why would somebody pay that much for such an old machine? Gosh. Here's a lot of 7 for 155 bucks. 1.6s. Well, I've seen everything. And it only took me 2 minutes. And I've just seen everything. So this laptop, let's determine a value. This is worth anywhere between $1 and $2,000. Or $1,200. That's crazy. Let's take it apart. Alrighty, so let's take this sucker apart. I want to see what kind of condition it is in internally and to find out why it's... Yeah, see, I'm not a Lenovo whore at all. That. Things you get at trade shows. I got this nice glass water bottle that I've used all of once from Carbonite. Give them some free advertisement. It's a nice bottle too. It's all glass. I love these things. These are great. There's so much. I don't know why I got that. I asked the guy, I was like, hey, I'll talk to you about Carbonite if I can have that. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Alright, so let's see what I got for tools. Alright, let's get what I need here. So we're going to start by removing the palm rest, and the nice thing about Lenovo's and ThinkPads is that they clearly mark what each screw is for. So if you need to remove the keyboard, it actually marks it off with the pictogram what screws need to be removed to remove the keyboard. So we're going to just start ripping stuff apart. I'm going to take the hard drive out. Get that out first. This hard drive is not likely to go back into it. Come on. What is that? Yeah, 60 gig drive from 06. It's just sad. Was it a 60? Yeah, it's a 60. And not even a good one. It's a Apache. Ew. Well... Why am I taking these out? I don't want to take those out just yet. Actually, yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, let's take them all. These screwdrivers aren't magnetized, which kind of pisses me off, but I got to get myself another hard drive magnet to stick to them. That actually works. You just take a nice strong magnet, like a neodymium magnet, or hard drive magnets work really well. I think they are neodymium, actually. Just don't use a ceramic magnet. They just aren't powerful enough to do anything like that. But they will transfer their magnetism right to the tip screwdriver. I smell something burning, and this laptop is I don't know. Not the battery. It's like it really does smell like something is burning in this. I mean, it smells horrible. Alright, let's take the optical drive out just to have that out of there. Yeah. Smell that? No? It's like awful. It's just not a good smell. Alright. Depending on the model, sometimes these slide out. Here we go. There we go. So this gives us easy access to the RAM expansion. I'm going to unplug the trackpad. And there's that. It's got the fingerprint reader. Pretty well equipped. Alright. RAM is located right there. Keyboard, I've already unscrewed the keyboard mounting screws, so it should just pull right off. Easy replacement if I were to fix this. Just pop off the old one, pop in the new one. And let's get the camera off the tripod so you can see what's going on here. And this is how the keyboard connector is placed. I actually brought a black stick from work. I'll just pop that off. Is there a latch on that one? No, it just pops off. And this black stick is not very strong. There we go. So there's that. Here's our Wi-Fi board. So this does have the Wi-Fi option. I think it was optional on this model. Heatsink, fan spins nice and free. Now let's get this sucker apart a little bit more so we can see what's going on with the crackling hinges. That does kind of bother me. It makes me think that this laptop is probably kind of weak. Maybe got some damage. So let's do some further exploration here. Okay, so we've got to relieve the screws holding the rest of the case together. Now they did use like 3 different screw lengths on this model. Quickly magnetize it. I just realized that this flashlight has a pretty strong magnet built right in, and it does a nice job of magnetizing screwdrivers. See, look at that, just like that. First it was magnetic not, now it is magnetic. All right. Now what exactly was done during the refurbishing procedure is a mystery to me, because there's no, these don't really come with service records if you get them from the, either from the dump or next step up, you know, savers. You don't really get a whole history. You don't know who owned it. You don't know. I did figure out, by the way, that it was probably used up until very recently. I'm thinking somebody got a new laptop for Christmas, and that is how it came to be discarded. But like always, and this is, I keep saying this, people need to take their security seriously, because I have a lot of information now on who owned this laptop before. I figured out, number one, it was a child. I have the child's name. I have the child's address. I know what school they went to. I know all of this stuff. And it's like, people, take this stuff seriously, man. It's scary. We live in a scary world, and you have to take data security seriously. Now, this wasn't a laptop that I went digging for. It was on a retail shelf in a store that is frequented by all kinds of people, good and bad. I shake my head. I shake my head every time I come across one of these things. It's scary stuff. I have to admit that even I may have, at one point in my life, disposed of a machine improperly. I know it happens. You know, you don't really think about these things until, you know, I don't know if I ever did or not. I don't think I did, but. Alright, now we gotta get this panel off. Did I miss a screw? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna take these 2 out. Do you see that? Probably not. Yeah, let's take these 2 screws out. Disconnect the Wi-Fi antenna. We've got, what is that, PC2 5300? Yeah, I've got some 1 gig sticks that I can pop in here, bring it up to 2 gigs. Not a problem. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, this is the modem right here. Right next to the Wi-Fi card, it actually has a modem module. So this comes out. Is it adhesive? Yeah. Any broken tabs? There's no brokenness of any kind. It's in good shape. Now, here's the problem. Okay, we found our structural damage, and I'll show it to you once we get the display out. Now, Lenovo still uses metal hinges on the T-Series ThinkPad, metal hinge blocks. And that is one of the things that sets this series apart from everybody else, is the use of metal. But sometimes those metal parts can fail, and this is one of them. So I'm going to remove the display cable. It just it should just pop up. A little bit of tension under it. There we go. And this thing should just slide right out. We've got to get our Wi-Fi antenna out of the way. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I used to have a T43 ThinkPad in a past time in my life. I had a T43. I got it as part of a deal that I made with a real estate agent who I was doing IT work for. And she's no longer in the business, so I no longer work for her, but it was a good thing for a couple of years. I wired her buildings, I deployed her new equipment, I refurbished her old equipment, I provided support for a good 10 years, not 10 years, I think it was like 5 or 6 years, come to think of it, that she got out of the business, and so that's all gone. I have stopped taking on side work after that because it was really kind of a pain in the ass. But anyway, nice big bright display. Got some serious scratches though, damn it. Okay. Let's take a look at this physical damage here. So there is some metal framework that supports the hinge block. Here we go. And this right here used to be attached to this piece of metal that completely broke free and is now just kind of jangling in there. So I would have to replace. Is that metal? No, that's what is that? It's not really. Is it part of the shell or not? Yeah, it is. It is like a. It's like a. What it is, it's probably like a magnesium alloy, and it is essentially the entire case stiffener is what it is. And this piece is broken off. Now, how critical is that? Well, obviously not that much. But it definitely puts this laptop into a different category all its own. Basically physically damaged. And is no longer worth all that it can be worth. Now, can you fix this? Maybe with a little... No amount of epoxy or adhesive is going to fix that. Not permanently, anyway. And because these are so durable to begin with, it's easy to say that this laptop suffered some major trauma. Like it was probably in a backpack. Got it out. So this piece right here is what broke off. It's a very lightweight, I believe it's magnesium alloy. That's one way to find out. Burn it. But you have to get it really hot to ignite. But if you can, it'll ignite and it'll burn brightly. Let's try it. Such a beautiful night. That thing has been running since, I believe, late October. I haven't shut it off since October. It's now January 10th, 11th, 12th. There we go. So let's see what's going to happen here. This is really scientific. If it burns, we'll know it's magnesium. But it could be an alloy that's not as flammable. I think it would have ignited by now. There it goes. No, almost. No, it's burning now. But it's not magnesium, whatever it is. I think I destroyed my table though. Whoa. There it goes. There it goes. That's magnesium, alright. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's bright. You see how hot it had to go. Wow! It really is magnesium. That's fizzling out. That's so cool. So now you know what magnesium fires look like. Oh yeah, that's freaking... Let's burn the rest of it. Oh, we're having fun. That is so bright. you throw a laptop in the fire, take the battery out first, take the plastics away, of course, and you're going to have yourself a little magnesium fire. Look at that shit. You realize how hot that has to be? Burn like this? Once you take the flame away. Now, magnesium is used in fireworks. That's what creates the white light. The camera can't actually see just how white that is. But I'm going to babysit this until it goes out. That's so cool. So, there's one mystery solved. You guys thinking what I'm thinking? Burn the whole chassis. Strip it down. Burn the whole freaking thing. It's not like it's, you know, really structurally sound anymore. I mean, it has to be replaced if the laptop is to live on, and properly anyway. No, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to hang on to it because just in case, maybe 4th of July we do a laptop fire, and that could be fun. Bigly. Bigly. Okay, so for those of you safety Nazis, number one, we just had a rainstorm, and yes, it is January 12th, but secondly, the table was a stone table, so it would never burn. It is completely fireproof, fire retardant, whatever. And it is, yeah, it is very wet outside, so no animals are harmed in the making of this film. I used safety precautions, and I had a fire extinguisher behind me. So, all right, where were we? So yeah, determining the fate of this poor little machine. I mean, this is a parts machine at this point. You've got a bad keyboard. Well, bad in that it's not something you'd want to really depend on. I mean, it is in rough condition. The enter key, like I said, is torn off, and it looks like looks like it's actually fixable. But you know, it's just not in great shape. And the housing is, you know, if you care about cosmetics, the housing is in pretty rough shape too. But most importantly, we have a structural deficiency here that cannot be fixed without replacing the entire chassis. And yeah, they are available. I could totally put it back together, but I think I'd rather, if I was to spend money on a laptop like this, I'd rather put more money into a better machine, something a little bit newer, like even a Core 2 Duo, which I have a couple of just kicking around. It has a good display. It's got good parts. If I don't know what I'm going to do with it at this point. I'm going to hang on to the chassis, though, because I'm thinking of a nice little 4th of July surprise. Toss it into a bonfire and watch the sparks fly. I mean, now, I had a friend a while back, years ago, when I was into Volkswagens. I had a friend who was he was a VW nut. He used to go to the shows and the campouts. It was actually, I think it was a Volkswagen camper club. What they would do is, for their nightly bonfires, they would actually set the fire inside an old VW transmission case. VW used to use, maybe still does, a magnesium alloy transmission case because it's lightweight and it's strong. And just as you saw on the table out there, once it ignites, it doesn't go out. You cannot put it out without foam, really. Which is why we only burned a small piece of it. But if you get that fire started in a transmission case, it'll burn down to ash. It really will. It'll just burn right down to ash until there's nothing left. And I just observed that with that little piece we burned. It's really, there was just ash left. Whatever wasn't magnesium just kind of melted into just an ashy, really nothing substance. So they would set fires in transmission cases just because it would light up the whole damn campground. And my father was a fireman for a couple of years, and he could concur whenever there was an engine fire in a 1980s vintage VW. It was very common on those because they had massive leaks on the valve cover gaskets on those. But whenever one of those would catch fire, it would take them hours to put the fire out because the engine case, if the engine or transmission case, sorry, if the transmission case ever caught fire, it was hell to put them out because you just couldn't do it. I mean, the stuff it creates its own heat, and it just burns like a mother, and that's what magnesium does. The chemical that's in sparklers that gives it its bright white light, you guessed it, magnesium. Alright, so I think we're done with this laptop. I don't know what we're going to do with it from now on, so I'm going to just probably hang on to the pieces. I'll put them on a shelf for a little while, and if I get any great ideas, then you'll be the first to know. So yes, there's our ThinkPad T60. I'm not going to disassemble it any further because I have no need to. I mean, I know what I need to do to this thing, and if I decide to save it, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you for watching, and keep thinking.